Hello and welcome to the Rob Burgess Show. I am, of course, your host, Rob Burgess. On this, our 6th episode, our guest is the Kingdom of Sweden. Sweden sits between Norway and Finland and is the third largest nation in the European Union by area. This Scandinavian country is home to nearly 10 million people. Allow me to explain. A week ago, I stumbled upon an article by Leslie Horn on Vocativ. Later in the podcast, I wrongly call it Voactive several times. With the headline, I spent my morning calling random Swedes, in parentheses, and they loved it. Here are the first few paragraphs of that story. I spent my morning in an unexpected way, on the phone with several Swedish strangers. Thanks to the Swedish Tourist Association, there is a phone number called the Swedish Number that will connect you with random Swedes. So, I called it. It's a little bit odd to hop on the phone with someone you've never met before, but that's exactly the point. Calling Sweden, soon you will be connected with a random Swede, is the automated message you hear when you dial the number. It's either +46 771 793 336 internationally, or 301 276 0600 for local rates if you're calling from the US. The hotline brings to mind Sweden's Twitter strategy. Each week, a new Swedish citizen is given control of the country's Twitter account, and they can use it however they please. This week it appears to be a registered nurse named Cici. It's another way to connect Swedes to the rest of the world, and what it has in common with the Swedish number is that it's also just delightfully weird. I then visited the official website for the project, theswedishnumber.com, where I found this introduction. 250 years ago, in 1766, Sweden became the first country in the world to introduce a constitutional law to abolish censorship. To honor this anniversary, Sweden is now the first country in the world to introduce its own phone number. Call today and get connected to a random Swede anywhere in Sweden and talk about anything you want. The site also included a frequently asked questions section, which reads as follows. Who is behind the Swedish number? Sweden's Tourist Association. We want to spark people's curiosity about Sweden, our culture, nature, and mindset. To help us do this, we have the people of Sweden. Who answers when I call? Everyone who lives in Sweden is able to register as an ambassador. When you call, you will be connected to a random Swede. The chances that you are connected to the same Swede twice are small, so you get a new side of Sweden every time you call. How much does it cost? The call will be charged as an international call. You have to check with your phone operator what your calling rate for Sweden is. It depends on your communication provider and a number of factors, such as individual calling plans and time of day. Your call will start getting charged when you are connected to Sweden. If you are calling one of the local numbers, see if your country is on the list, the call will be charged as a local call. Is my phone number shared? You are completely anonymous and your private number is never shared. All calls are routed through a switchboard. Are the calls recorded? Calls via the Swedish number may be recorded for security reasons. If someone reports a specific call, we can listen to the call and unregister any user who violates Swedish law. Why is no Swede answering when I'm calling? 1. Lots of people are calling and there's no Swede available. 2. Sweden is sleeping. We are in the GMT +2 time zone. 3. If the first Swede you are connected to is not able to answer, you will automatically be connected to another Swede and another until someone answers. 4. It's the last day of April at 8 p.m., and all Swedes are busy watching bonfires all around the country. How does it work? When someone outside of Sweden calls the Swedish number, a telephone switchboard randomly connects the call to a Swede somewhere in Sweden. How do I enter the plus before the number? Either access the additional symbols on your phone and find the plus sign, or dial 0046 instead of +46. According to the most current statistics on the website, more than 82,271 calls from 173 different countries have come in since the line opened April 6th, and callers have spent more than 161 days total on the phone, with 2 minutes and 50 seconds being the average call time. Almost a third of the calls are from America, while the United Kingdom, Turkey, the Netherlands, China, Australia, and Russia round out the top 7 calling countries. On a personal note, I want to thank all the Swedes who took the time to speak with me. I would highly suggest calling the Swedish number to anyone. You'll hear one of the Swedes ask if I have a YouTube channel, and at that time I said no. Since then, I have started one, which you can like and subscribe to at tinyurl.com/The Rob Burgess Show YouTube, all one word. Thank you to everyone who went to iTunes and subscribed to, rated, and reviewed The Rob Burgess Show. The initial results are in, and the average rating so far is 5 out of 5 stars. It doesn't get any better than that. If you haven't subscribed to, rated, and reviewed the podcast on iTunes yet, please do so now so we can keep the momentum going. Every little bit helps the podcast to reach an even wider audience. You can find it at tinyurl.com/The Rob Burgess Show. And once you're signed into iTunes, hit subscribe. Click the tab on the iTunes page near the top that says Ratings and Reviews. From there, please leave a star rating, hopefully 5 stars, and click Write a Review to leave a review. Thanks again for the support. You can now find The Rob Burgess Show on Stitcher at stitcher.com/podcast/the-Rob-Burgess-show. Google Play Music at tinyurl.com/The Rob Burgess Show Google Play, and tune in at tinyurl.com/The Rob Burgess Show Tune In. You can also subscribe directly to the RSS feed at tinyurl.com/The Rob Burgess Show RSS. If you're an Android user and you're still not sure how to listen, you can also visit the website subscribeonandroid.com/tinyurl.com/The Rob Burgess Show RSS. And if you have a one-click supported app on your Android device, the app will load automatically. At this point, The Rob Burgess Show should now be listed on most of the major podcast directories. But if you're still having trouble finding it or know of a directory I've missed, please let me know. You can find more about me by visiting my website, www.thisburgess.com. The official website for The Rob Burgess Show is www.therobburgessshow.com. Follow on Twitter at Rob Burgess Show. Like the page on Facebook at The Rob Burgess Show. Follow on SoundCloud at the-Rob-Burgess-Show. The email for the show is therobburgessshow@gmail.com. And now, on to the show.
Calling Sweden. You will soon be connected to a random Swede somewhere in Sweden. This call may be recorded.
But Sweden is asleep right now, so you might end up in someone's voicemail.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Is this Sweden?
Yes, this is Sweden.
Oh, great. Is it okay that I'm recording this for a podcast?
What do you say, please?
I have you know what a podcast is? Like a radio show on the internet?
Okay.
I'm recording our conversation for that. Is that okay with you?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, cool. My name is Rob. What is your name?
My name is Simon.
How you doing this evening? Or is it what? I'm sorry. What time is it there?
Simon. My name is Simon.
Simon.
Yes. Where are you from?
I am from Indiana.
What?
Indiana. It's a state in America, kind of in the Midwest.
America, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you want help with something?
Oh, well, no. I'm sorry. What time is it there right now?
No, it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay. So very early in the morning.
I am sleeping. Can we talk about after?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Did I wake you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Right, well,
No
just
problem,
before you go, is there something you'd like to say to people in America, like at all?
Yeah?
Just anything you'd like to say to people in America that might be listening?
Okay. We can talk about after. Maybe I call you back.
Okay, great.
9 o'clock maybe. Yes, good night.
Yep, absolutely.
Calling Sweden. You will soon be connected to a random Swede somewhere in Sweden. This call may be recorded.
But Sweden is asleep right now, so you might end up in someone's voicemail.
Hey, you are calling Sweden.
Oh, hello. Hey, hi. Who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with Milad. What's your name?
My name is Rob. Can I tell you something? I have a podcast. Do you know what a podcast is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I'm recording a podcast right now. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it is okay.
Okay, cool. So you're in Sweden, I take it?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah.
So how has all this been going with people? How many people have you talked to, would you say?
I signed up to answer. They say answer for Sweden through an application, mobile application on iOS and Android. So you download it and you sign up by typing in your mobile number. Then you receive an SMS. You activate you activate your subscription, and then you start receiving calls. I signed up like 1 hour and a half, and you are the 10th person who have called. So are you calling from America?
Yes, I'm calling from Indiana. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, Indiana. No, I'm not sure.
Do you know where Chicago is?
Yeah, I know Illinois.
Yeah, we're right next to Illinois.
Yeah, okay. Is it like east or west?
It is east of Illinois.
Okay. So you are close to New York, New Jersey. Somehow.
We're within a day's driving distance. You could drive to New Jersey in a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are the Prince American. All the colors are American.
Mm-hmm.
Americans. Yeah.
Yeah. So what part of Sweden are you in?
I am currently I am in a city called Helsingborg. It is in southern Sweden.
Okay, cool. So
yeah.
What it's very early in the morning there, am I right?
Yeah, it is now we are closing to 6 a.m.
Because I talked to somebody briefly before you who obviously was asleep before I had called them. So
well, some people don't know that they can switch this off. In the application. In the application, you can choose to not receive calls.
Okay.
So. Yeah, so this person apparently didn't know that because it is new. It is something new. So yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Okay, cool. What can you tell me about yourself? Like what do you do for work?
Well, I am a web developer. I do web development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so This is my work.
Okay, cool. Well, Well, I'm a journalist. I write for a newspaper.
Okay. What is it?
What's that?
What is it? The newspaper?
The newspaper is called the Kokomo Tribune.
Kokomo Tribune. I don't know about it. And the broadcast, is it related to your work, or it is something?
No. The podcast
like
I do.
A hobby.
The podcast I do on my own time. Yeah, right.
Okay, as a hobby. Okay.
Well, I for now, sure. I hope it to be,
nice.
as much as it could be eventually. But
yeah. Okay. With time and persistence, you can achieve your goal.
Oh man, that's so great to hear. Thank you for saying that. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, I plan to. So, well, cool, man. What else can you tell us about Sweden? We don't know. What do you want Americans to know about Sweden?
Sweden is a cool country. It is somehow cold most of the year, and the summer, it is very short here, maybe one month, and there is also something. I was speaking with someone called before you, so we were speaking about the benefits that people get. I was telling her about the parental leave. The parental leave here is for over 400 days and can be shared by both parents and can be used as needed from the moment the baby is born until they are 8 years old. So you have this very long parental leave, and you can just use it as needed. What else? What else? Of course, here you pay a lot of taxes, but you get pretty much good services from the state. You have free health care. You have pensioners. They have basic pension from the state. What else? It is a democratic country. We have freedom. Also, Sweden is one of the best countries when it comes to equality, gender equality. What else? Also, the economy is good here. What else? The politics are pretty much stable. The people are tolerant. What else? Okay, well, I expect you also to ask me.
Well, I mean, I wonder how it. Have you been following the presidential election in America at all?
I have been following the presidential elections. Yeah, not very closely. Yeah, but I am interested because it is the presidential elections are not only important for America but also for the whole world. It is very scary for us, not only Sweden, all around the world. If Donald Trump's wins. Or maybe Cruz. What was his first name?
Ted. Are you talking about Ted Cruz?
Yeah. Ted Cruz. These people seem, xenophobic. Like they seem to be extreme and very extreme. So they are really scary. Yeah,
I can only imagine. Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine how it must feel to hear Donald Trump talk from where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's really scary, and the people around him who support him are also very, very scary. So there are a lot of xenophobia. Even there are some instances where when Donald Trump didn't denounce the KKK. It's called, I believe, the KKK. These supremacists.
Yep.
So it is actually scary, and these things, when he talks about the Mexicans, about the wall that he will make Mexico pay for, it is crazy. It's crazy. May I ask whom do you support yourself? Whom you are likely to elect?
Between you, me, and everyone else, I probably think the only person that is not a lunatic is Bernie Sanders. I think that,
okay.
Yeah, because I think what he talks about, kind of the system you guys have as being a model for what he wants to do.
Yeah.
How do you see what he's saying? What do you think of him?
Well, I think it's a good idea as a principle, but the question is, can it be applied in America? Is it possible? I think he will meet a lot of resistance, and people will call him communist. For myself, I think maybe Hillary Clinton is the least worse option,
Yeah. Like I've been talking to my friends about this, and there's people that say, oh, if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, I'm just not going to vote, or I'm going to vote for Trump. It's like Hillary Clinton is. I have a lot of problems with her, but at least she's like a human being, like like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not one of us. You know what I mean?
The problem with Donald Trump, he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you are going to give that bag that contains the button, the button. This is how people around the world perceive it. There is a handbag with a button. If you push it, a nuclear weapon will be fired. So I am sure you don't want to put this in the hands of Donald Trump.
No. Well, and just please, if you could talk to other Swedes and just let them know that we are not all supporting Donald Trump. Many of us are speaking out, and we're all, trying to make sure what we all hope doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, of course. I know there are polls, opinion polls, and things are shifting from here to here. And a couple of days, I believe he canceled a trip to California or something like that, and it wasn't good for him, I believe. So I believe. You know what? I believe America is far more better than electing this person. But if America elects Donald Trump, it is not that Donald Trump is going, to screw America. But by then, America would be already screwed. If you get the point.
Yeah, no, I think we all hopefully will not get the point, but it could get really bad if that happened, for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, we don't have to keep talking about the election. Well, what else do you want to tell me about yourself? What music do you like?
Well, I like traditional music, or classical music also. Before you one called me, she works, I believe, in a symphony in Texas. She's a player of French horn. I do some music, but I am not a professional. I'm just a hobbyist.
Okay.
So I think, but I am not a professional. Yeah, it's like just a hobby.
Right. Well,
I was also listening before you called. I was listening to Frank Sinatra.
Oh yeah, me too. I was just listening to New York with my son just yesterday. Actually.
Really, I was listening to "Killing Me Softly."
Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I play the guitar.
Nice, very nice.
So.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good. Music is amazing because you can put a lot without saying even a word.
Definitely. I was listening to. Have you ever seen on YouTube the Tiny Desk concerts from NPR Music? You should look them up. They're really good.
Say again, the Tiny Desk from NPR.
Yeah, they're called Tiny Desk Concerts, and it's this radio station in America that in the corner of their office they make these really great bands just play kind of among people's desks, and it's a really cool series. But anyway, they had this guy playing the lute from Iraq, and he
what is his name?
Oh, I have a computer. I can look it up.
Nasir?
Yeah.
Nasir. His name is Nasir?
Probably, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, the lute is a very nice instrument.
For sure. But anyway, that's that. But I was just listening to that, and I was like, wow, he's not saying anything, but this is amazing, just what he's doing with the instrument,
Yeah. Okay, so if I want to listen to your podcast, what I should Google?
So just go to the website is www.robburgessshow.com, and that's ROB.
Rob.
Yeah. TH. Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's TH. Excuse me. THE.
Yeah.
ROB.
Yeah.
BUR.
Yeah.
GESS.
Burgess. Okay.
Show is SHOW.
Yeah.
.com.
Okay. The RobBurgessShow.com.
Yes. And that you should be able to find everything you need. But get in touch with me, okay? Will you send me an email or something?
Absolutely. I'll Google you, and I will also listen to this podcast. Are you going to edit it?
Yes, I absolutely will. I will definitely edit it. Yeah. And, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's been really cool.
Yeah.
And I hope to talk to you on the internet again, and I hope you find me. Thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thank you for calling Sweden. You're welcome.
All right. Well, tell Sweden we said what's up, and have a great day, okay?
Yeah. You too. Thank you very much, America.
All right. Awesome.
Bye.
Calling Sweden. You will soon be connected to a random Swede somewhere in Sweden. This call may be recorded.
But Sweden is asleep right now, so you might end up in someone's voicemail.
Hello, this is Sweden.
Oh, hello. Hey, who am I speaking with?
This is Frederick, and
this is Sven. We're actually two people, and you are on loudspeaker.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm recording a podcast. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
That is awesome.
Cool.
Where are you located?
I'm in Indiana. Where are you guys at?
In Stockholm.
Oh.
Actually, Sweden. But, well, the capital of Sweden.
Cool. Awesome.
So,
Indiana.
Okay, so tell us about your podcast.
Oh, well, it's just me. I'm a journalist. I write for a newspaper, but I also, on my own time, do this podcast.
Tell us about your podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've wanted to do this for a long time. Like I said, I'm a journalist, so I wanted to just kind of talk to people I know and people I don't know, and just kind of talk about, whatever feels right, So I saw this phone number. I've published 5 podcasts so far, and I saw the phone number, of course, and I was like, this has to be my next episode. So here we are.
Where did you see this phone number?
I saw it on an article on the website Vocativ.
What was their idea?
The headline of the article on the website was, "I spent my morning calling random Swedes, parentheses, and they loved it."
Yeah. Sorry, can you spell it again?
What's that?
Can you spell it again?
Oh, the name of the website?
Yeah.
Okay, the name of the website where I saw this article is, I'll just tell you the name of the website. It's Vocativ. Vocativ.
Okay.
Vocativ. Because you just perchance happen to call one of the developers right now.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's...
No. And I'm just a guy sitting by this guy's side, so I'm just you hit the right number, or you timed it really well in a way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
That is why.
To be honest,
that is why he's asking about the exact where you found this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly curious. So I'm the guy, one of the developers.
Is this like in the Matrix sequel where you go and you meet the architect?
No, like what sequel? Like,
was it? I don't know if it was the second or the third Matrix movie, but but they go into the room and there's the guy, and you know what I mean.
But is that the second movie? 'Cause that's what.
Yeah.
I hope you're referring to the third movie, because I don't know. There's like a key master and stuff, and that.
Oh yeah.
Magic and.
Okay.
Then it's a really awesome trilogy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Either way, if there's a possibility, the answer is yes. It is like with the architect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what time is at your place now?
It is 12:11 a.m.
Okay, 12:11 a.m.
It's night.
Lunch time.
No. It's just after midnight.
I'm sorry.
All right. The U is gonna go to sleep soon. The U.S. is gonna go to sleep soon.
Well, not this U.S. Mister, because I just got off work, and you know what I mean. This is quitting time for me. So I work a weird schedule because I am the night editor at the newspaper I work at. So I put the paper to bed. I work when everyone else is already gone home. So.
All right.
But you should be sleeping.
Well, shouldn't everybody be sleeping more? I mean,
if you not think with your time, you would probably be sleeping right now.
Yeah, I mean, if I worked a normal person schedule, but I've always been a night owl, so I mean, even when I had to get up early, I would stay up late. So who knows?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, same here, I guess. Okay, so. What is your question to Sweden?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, what do you want people in America to know about Sweden?
I want you to know, and I'm this other guy. Like, Yeah, as I said before, you're on loudspeaker, so we're two guys answering your questions. My message to the U.S. is that Bernie Sanders is going to save world politics in my world.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary Clinton might do fine. Donald Trump would be like nuclear third world war.
Pretty much,
and,
yeah.
Ted Cruz is like a militant Christian who wants to shoot women who happen to want to have an abortion. So I don't really see... To us Europeans, or I don't know if I personally cannot represent Europe, but Ted Cruz to me is Christian extremist.
Yeah, and well, that's not even an opinion. I almost think he would describe himself that way. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay.
Well, no. It's interesting you talk about Ted Cruz because you'll never believe who I saw speak last night.
Yeah.
No. Well, that would have been the only better thing. But it was his father, Rafael Cruz. He came to Kokomo, where I work. Because he was campaigning for his son, and he quoted he said as a point of pride, because Jimmy Carter, former president, said that, you know, between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, he was more scared of Ted Cruz because he actually believed what he said. And Ted Cruz's father was yep, that's true, and I take that as a point of pride. And I was like, eee. I was like, that's
actually exactly what I've been reading here. Like, well, I mean, I might not be the average European, but I'm reading loads of U.S. politics, and what scares me more than Donald Trump is Ted Cruz, who actually genuinely believes in that, like, super Christian, super religious stuff that he's saying. Because Donald Trump, to me, is full of shit, and he just says stuff that gives him better polls. But Ted Cruz actually believes in... and I'm just guessing that the world is 6,000 years old.
Fossils are a test from Satan. He put them there to test us.
Come again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just making a joke. I was just saying fossils were put in the ground by Satan to test us, but that's actually what people believe that way.
I don't know whoever put them there, but nevertheless, Stone Age people rode dinosaurs with spears and...
And listen, I'd love to ride a dinosaur as much as anybody, but it just didn't happen, okay?
Yeah. Well, it could have happened if you would be like 120 million old.
Of course. Well, just, I mean, you were asking where I'm from before. You could drive very easily. You could take a day trip to the Creation Museum in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah.
You could, I mean, but do you know about the Creationist Museum?
Yeah. I know. That I've been getting loads of that. Like, they got like state money to build it because it's a religion. Yeah. And once you motivate whatever you do by this is a religion, you get funds from the state.
Well, you don't get taxed from the state. You're talking about specifically the Creation Museum. It got funds from the state to build it, you're saying?
Yeah, no, either. I've read both of those. Yeah, you don't get taxed tax as long as you claim that you are a religion, which is to us in Sweden. We are. Well,
Where are we at?
we are just now locally here in Sweden discussing like where this applies, but it depends on the stage, right?
Yeah, states are almost like nations, I guess. In some regards. Or?
Now we're actually asking you, and
we're asking you because we're trying to understand.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, the question was that states are almost like our definition of nations.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, there's people in America that are way more into states' rights, as you would say, as far as like making decisions that they want to do. Well, okay, so I live in Indiana, and we have a governor named Mike Pence. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's been very much in the news lately, actually during the last several years, because he signed a Religious Freedom Restoration Act that specifically discriminated against gays and lesbians and transgender people. And basically what happened was they could have had a very easy fix where they added LGBT people to the state's civil rights legislation that allowed them to be a protected class, and he didn't do that. So what has happened is individual cities in the state have had to enact their own ordinances that protect those people. And so he's basically just taken this fight to the cities, and now every city has this like knockdown, drag out war over this, when he could have just put it in the state civil rights like so many other places do, and he could have avoided the whole thing. But they still haven't fixed it. I share your fears about Donald Trump. I've been just appalled that he's gotten this far. Ted Cruz is a disaster, and if Donald Trump wasn't in the race, he would be obviously the most crazy person. But that's one of the real tragedies of Donald Trump, is that he's made someone like Ted Cruz seem like legitimate, mainstream choice. You know what I mean? In any other context, Ted Cruz is the lunatic on the fringe. So.
Actually, also. Clinton is also like I'm like a much better option than she would be in another.
I want to disagree with Frederick here, but I still see like this election cycle's results seem really, well, to put it bluntly, fucked up, because both Bernie Sanders and Trump, like extremists compared to the normal establishment of both Democrats and Republicans, both of those people seem to get a lot of traction and
Well, I think Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders kind of appealed to a certain dissatisfaction with what's happening in the status quo.
With the so-called establishment.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever passes for the establishment these days, whatever that means. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing to think about that there's like a connection there, but it kind of is, you know what I mean? Like, I have heard people, and I've been discussing this with my friends, who say, there are people that say if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, they will vote for Trump. And I just, I get that there's a connection, but I feel like it's like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? Now, how does it feel, because Bernie Sanders is kind of preaching kind of what the system that Sweden has, right? So what do you guys think of what he's saying as far as that goes?
Yeah, and we think that is awesome, but Trump supporters think that we live in a kind of North Korea kind of country, which is not true, but...
If that was the case, we would not be talking right now.
Exactly. We wouldn't have wireless mobile phone data to be able to talk to you right now.
Sure.
We're actually drinking a glass of Fanta Exotic at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking a very fine tangerine IPA. So.
IPA, we say IPA.
Oh.
India Pale Ale, you mean?
Yes, I do mean.
We would love to have.
That is actually that is a fancy beer. I would have thought that you're from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
I would have said you. What's it called? The blue trash beer.
First of all, how dare you? And secondly...
okay, I apologize.
I'm kidding, of course. But, I believe... I'm blanking. Pabst, are you talking about Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Yeah. Blue Ribbon, right, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Listen, hipsters, I lived in California. I student taught in England for a time. In America, a lot of places people drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. Okay, so it's not just Indiana, okay?
No.
It's all over. People, hipsters all over America. Hipsters all over America.
Yeah, and you know what? We've got an alcohol monopoly in Sweden. Like,
really?
It states everything above 3.5% in alcohol. I don't know if it's volume or whatever, but everything above 3.5 is sold in a store that is technically, You don't mind about technically, but it's state-owned. So all the benefits of people being alcoholics goes back into the state, which goes back into the welfare system. So you can be an alcoholic and feel good about it because you're paying your fair share of taxes, of alcohol taxes as well, and you're basically financing your own treatment like 20 years down the road. Yeah. But that makes it a really good place to find weird and exotic kind of beers. So we actually have Pabst Blue Ribbon in Sweden.
Well, I hope that's not a rare and exotic beer because it's like a good, because I hope you know we don't think it's like actually good beer.
No. We get Taylor Swift songs as well.
Oh, okay. Are you comparing Taylor Swift to Pabst Blue Ribbon?
No, but she made a song.
Oh, she made a song. See, I missed that song.
She refers to Pabst Blue.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, don't quote me on that.
I won't quote you on that.
Mixing up the U.S. artists, but yeah.
I once heard a quote that from the Mexican side, or from the U.S. side of the border towards Mexico, there was a sign saying, "Don't drink the water, drink the beer." And that somebody, as a protest towards that, put up towards the U.S. Border side, "Don't drink the beer, drink the water." This kind of our view of American beer.
Okay, fair enough.
My view of American beer. I will pick it.
But the what Frederick is doing, no offense, Frederick, is generalizing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, sure.
Like, okay, I have to admit that Indiana is not famous in Sweden for
It's okay.
producing good beer.
Well, I have to be honest with you. This beer actually came from Colorado, so.
Well, Colorado is not famous for doing good beer as well.
Well, fair enough. But I happen to think this is a pretty good beer, though.
That is good for you, and I hope you enjoy it. Swedes, I think you would call most Swedes hipsters, because
Okay.
love New York.
Okay.
And there's a great many Swedes who go to New York and think that New York is the U.S. and United States. I've been there, and this is what it's like everywhere in the United States. But they obviously only get the most extreme hip parts of the U.S.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mentioned I lived in California for 3 years in Northern California, north of San Francisco. So I've lived a couple different places, but yeah, Indiana is definitely not one of the places that I would expect to be famous for much of anything in Sweden. So
maybe car and steel industry and I don't know, tires.
Tires. So glamorous when you put it that way.
Anything related to Indy. What's it?
The Indy 500. Yes, the race.
Yeah, you go in a circle all day long, and then one guy wins.
Hey, listen, pal. I've been to that circle driving several times.
Everybody loves
we think why don't you burn petrol on more useful stuff?
Yeah.
Except in Europe, we don't have the IndyCar stuff. We have Formula One, which is actually challenge, driving car around challenging course, and not a stupid oval, right?
Oh, you hear that, America? You gonna let him talk to you like that?
What? America is listening to me right now.
I told you we're recording a podcast, man.
Yeah, true. Yeah, actually, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm all out of ideas, all out of trash talk about you guys.
Well, if that's the worst you can say about us, I think we're okay.
I think you actually are really okay, and I think you have 1,000 tons of potential, but if you vote for Trump or Cruz or any to us Europeans extremist Christian Republican, then you're not gonna be open to the rest of the world. So to me, well, it sounds stupid, but Democrat, and there's a lot of Democrat establishment that is not good for the greater good in that way, but I'm totally leaning towards Democrat and Bernie Sanders. For example, right now, the Panama Papers, Bernie Sanders predicted that one in 2011. And he had his speech on the Senate floor, and he turns out to be 100% correct. So to me, Bernie Sanders is like, sorry, all Christians, but to me, Bernie Sanders is like the U.S. Jesus, like really
You cannot
eye-opening guy that chooses to talk about topics that establishment people have shunned because they were afraid of not being funded for the next round of elections or whatever. But
yeah, it's really upsetting to hear people dismiss Bernie Sanders. As far as he's won 7 of the last 8 states that have voted in America. And people in the media will still, and I'm in the media, so but I'm not one of these people because, I try to be honest about things. And basically what happens is, do you know about the concept of superdelegates?
Kind of.
Well, basically what happens in the Democratic Party is that there is a certain number of, prominent members of the Democratic Party that get 1 vote each that counts towards, who gets selected as the nominee. And there's like 700 of them. And you need like 2,400 to win. And in reality, Hillary Clinton has like 1,200 votes, or, delegates. And Bernie Sanders has like a little over 1,000, I think. I'm just guessing at these numbers. I think they're right. But what they do when they report these things, and they don't mention the fact that these superdelegates can change their mind at any time between now and the convention, but we're all pre-stacked for Hillary Clinton. So what they do is they say, oh, Bernie Sanders has to win 70% of all the rest of the delegates, and that's really hard to do, and he'll never do it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're not counting the fact that he's only like something like 200 delegates actually behind, but they counting these like 700 other people, and they like put that on top of Hillary Clinton's thing, and they pretend like that's the actual count when it's not. And it's annoying as somebody that I try to report the facts as accurately as I know them, and whenever I talk about it, I don't include those numbers because those people can change anytime. And it's just that they happen to now currently agree with Hillary Clinton that she should be the nominee. But if Bernie can, like, here's one thing I don't get. I don't know if you understand this from Sweden that much, but the southern part of America, and Indiana is sort of part of that. It's like kind of tangential around the border. But the southern part of America is not going to go for the Democratic Party, except for maybe Florida. It could depend on who wants to steal the election, but that's another topic. But I'm sorry, what's that?
It's quite typical, right?
Yeah, it's very right-wing, conservative, Christian, all that. So, but Hillary Clinton wins those southern states, and those are the first ones that have had their voted on who they want the nominee to be. But those are states that the Democratic Party has no hope of winning. So, but Bernie Sanders wins in states where it might be a question. In Michigan, which is just to the north of where Indiana is, he won that state from Hillary Clinton, and that's a state that could go either way. Wisconsin, which he just won, could go either way. You know what I mean? So, like, once these superdelegates see that maybe Hillary Clinton isn't the strongest choice in these purple states, as they call them, because they're mixed between red and blue.
Swing states.
Swing states, exactly. Once they see that he does well in these swing states, it's like, Hillary Clinton might have more problems than we're ready for,
That sounds good to me, because I'm a Sanders guy.
Yeah.
Tell me, why are they called super delegates?
Because normal people, or not normal people, but delegates are people that are supposed to represent the votes of the states they come from, and super delegates are people that are, I guess, they consider them above that, so they're people that get a say, but they don't have like a state that they're tied to. Like, it's just people like Bill Clinton is a super delegate. He has a vote towards who should be the nominee. Of course, he's going to say Hillary Clinton. People that have been senators, people that have been congressmen. You know what I mean? People that are like Democrats of like high office or have been in high office. Like I think Jimmy Carter probably is a superdelegate.
The more money you've spent on the Democratic.
Well, not so much money, but it's like you're a politician. You're like a prominent politician within who is a Democrat or has had a.
That sounds like elitist.
It is. It's terrible. And I don't know if you guys know this over in Sweden, but have you noticed how many Republican debates there have been? There's been so many, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's hardly any Democratic ones. Why do you think that is? It's because the head of the Democratic Party is a woman named Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and I've talked about this on, if you want to go look it up, episode 2, my friend Jonathan and I talk about this. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is the head of the Democratic National Committee. She, when Hillary Clinton ran against Barack Obama, was one of her campaign co-chairs. She wanted Hillary Clinton to be the nominee from the beginning. So what happened was, when the debate schedule came around, she scheduled all the debates at times when no one watched, and she scheduled less of them than the Republicans. And, for example, she scheduled one debate the Saturday before Christmas. Do you know how many people in America had plans the Saturday before Christmas? I'll tell you, a lot of people in America didn't watch the debate that night. So what happened was they figured she wanted just Hillary to waltz in and just be the nominee. And she said if we just limit the debate schedule, there'll be less time for her to get attacked, make a mistake, what have you.
Yeah.
But what happened was Bernie Sanders came up out of nowhere, and they realized that they actually had to have these debates because people actually wanted to hear about the issues, and they weren't just going to hand this to her. And then they added 4 more debates. But even now they're trying to mess around with this. Hillary Clinton wouldn't agree on the date of a debate because she wanted to have it the night that the finals of the college basketball championship were happening or something. And it's like, she doesn't want anybody to watch this because she just wants to, put the blinders on everybody and just say, vote for me, just settle for Hillary, trademark,
Yeah. And that's not even the Republican, about the Secretary of State email, whatever, not even scandal, but within democratic politics, I think that stinks. That stinks. And above all, I think one of the biggest reasons for this whole problematic situation to us Europeans is that the US is basically a two-party country. Because in Sweden, if we're not really conservative, but just a little conservative, we can choose another party, not the super conservative party. Last election, we had 7 parties to choose from. 7 parties who qualified to gather votes.
That's amazing to hear as an American, just because I'm sure you understand that it's just like you said, basically a 2-party system. And
either you're basically, if your parents are Republican, you are born Republican, and if you ever change sides, you're basically shunned, almost expelled from your family.
Yeah.
But in Sweden, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, last time I voted for this party, but this time I voted for a slightly more liberal party, and it's not a big deal because there's 7 of it across the whole spectrum. So you really can fine tune what you think is important for the moment, for the actual election.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, do you ever worry though with that many parties that one party could accidentally get in power that doesn't actually have that much support? It's just that other sides that might be against them are split between the parties. I mean, you know what I mean?
Accidentally, one party gets 2% too many votes, and accidentally another party gets 2% too few votes, but that doesn't really.
We actually do have problems because the prerequisite to government is that you have 50% plus. So that you can.
True. Yeah. You obviously
law through and
you obviously need an absolute majority, or I don't know if you call it absolute majority. Like you need more than 50% of the. We don't have like a Senate or a House of.
We have a government. Or regeringen.
Yeah, we basically by direct votes we choose which party we want to see to win, and then no party ever clearly wins, but every party needs to choose another party to cooperate with and form a government. So it's never ever one single party that forms any government. It's at least two, like the Social Democrats and our so-called Green Party, like the Environment Party. They've been ruling Sweden up until 2008, I think, something. And they both of them won the election in a way, but in between themselves they need to make they need to compromise about stuff, because the Social Democrats want to implement a 45-hour work week, and the Environment Party does not want that. So they need trade-off all the time, and they need to compromise. And to me, just the idea that there's not one or the other, in your words, Democratic or Republican, but like 7 different parties with more or less differences, like sets of different ideas about how the country should be ruled, that gives lots of more choices.
Yeah, definitely.
It has been a while since a single party had majority in the government. Yeah, with earlier life.
Just one single party ruling country, that's basically Hitler's Germany. and that might sound like a joke, but it's not even that far from a joke.
Yeah.
Because one party having that much power is scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the state where I live, in Indiana, the state house is almost completely controlled by Republicans. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term gerrymandering, but the way that
gerrymandering, mean like rigging elections.
Well, basically, when they draw maps of who will represent what area, they draw the maps in such a way that either divides the blocks of votes that would be against them, whatever the ruling party is drawing the maps, or they will consolidate all the people that would vote for them. And a lot of times they'll try to do both. You know what I mean? They'll draw these really weird, convoluted maps just to try to get a certain number of people to vote for them that they can count on to put them in office, and they never have to be worried about competition.
I've seen the like probably simplified internet examples about how to win 6/10 of a state or 8/10 just by changing how you divide an area.
Yeah, exactly. And whoever the ruling party is, they get to decide that. And of course, they're going to draw it in a way that's favorable to them. You know what I mean? Further ensuring their continued power. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is rampant in America. And I don't know how closely you've been following the election with the money side of it. But as much as we agree that Donald Trump is scary, he did still, make a good point when he said that, he donated to Hillary Clinton's campaign back when she was running for Senate. And, the other Republicans tried to be like, oh, why'd you do this? And he's like, look, I needed something from her. She delivered it. I invited her to my wedding. She came. She knew she had to because I bought her. And, I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like he, accidentally says something true every once in a while, and that is that, he can buy and sell, politicians at will because of the election laws being as they are. And we had the Supreme Court decision with the Citizens United where basically, unlimited campaign spending is the law of the land now.
Citizens United. That we've been reading a lot about.
Yeah. It's scary stuff. It's really scary stuff. And I can't imagine what that must be like to hear that in Sweden, where I'm sure that concept is absolutely foreign, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. The concept of, like, the one that has the most money to spend gets the most influence, that sounds to us like a post-Soviet state, like, I don't know, Azerbaijan or whatever, or Georgia, not Georgia, Atlanta, but Georgia.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It is not actually liberal. It's rather like closed system.
Money rules to us. If you would say what state is ruled by the rich people, our first instinct would be Russia. But if you think about it, the US is not that far off from, the general concept of the more money you get to spend, the more influence you get.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the things the Panama Papers, at least as I understand them, reveal is that, U.S. tax code being as it is, it's apparently now a tax haven to have your corporation be in America because the laws are so favorable to corporations.
Like Nevada.
These random people, these gangsters and whoever else, people close to Putin, these people that, are into all these shady dealings and they want to hide their money or they want to create a shell corporation. It's not the Cayman Islands they're going to. They're going to Wyoming and out, some state out west, where it's, exactly, Nevada or something like that, And it's like we're apparently now a third world country in this effect because it used to be the Cayman Islands and other places, that were just tax haven places. Like now it's America. America is now the place that you go to form your, ridiculous shell corporation so you can launder your money or whatever. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is because I guess that billionaires have too much of an influence on politics for quite some time.
And that is something...
Because they are, of course, the biggest spender on campaign.
Mm-hmm. And that is why I like Bernie Sanders. I mean, he's always talking about Wall Street power, but Wall Street power is compared to those LLCs in Nevada and whatnot. Wall Street is kind of transparent. Like you can actually see the money,
Mm-hmm.
or you can see the money a lot easier compared to shell corporations.
Yeah.
in Nevada or
Well, how do they do elections in Sweden? Like, what is the campaign finance system, and like, what's the election season like? Because you realize that, like, okay, so I was at a celebration when Barack Obama was elected the first time, and I was covering it as a reporter, and everyone was like really excited, and then on the big TV screen, as everyone's like paying attention, they're like, and guess what? Tomorrow begins the next presidential season. And I was like, no, I just got done covering this election. I don't want another one to start. It is a constant election season in America, because of, the money, like we talked about. So, like, what is the election season like in Sweden, and is it publicly funded, or how does the money get into it?
We actually have a kind of an issue with there not being a requirement of showing where all the money comes from, or yeah,
and that is a big issue here. Like, I mean, it's I don't know if we actually voted through that, but we are discussing that whether it should be transparent and like a public record where every party gets their money from. And the funny thing is here that the Social Democrats are opposed to that, because the Social Democrats get lots of party funding from union.
Yeah.
Union, like labor union, which in Sweden is not per se a dirty word. It's like just
actually it's rather the opposite, I guess. But, we have the union has traditionally a very strong influence in Sweden, and that is something we have valued, and mostly for good, I guess, because of
our so-called right wing, which in the US would be called like market liberal party, they don't have a huge support from unions, but our left-wing parties have much bigger support from the union, and we're discussing that in a way like, why should a union be connected to a party in that strong way? And I don't know if I told you, but I'm half German. In Germany, the unions are not at all that strongly connected to any party. In Germany, it's way more. The union is connected to the actual members of the union. So take the metal industry like Mercedes, BMW, and whatnot. They are actually representing the workers' issues.
Yeah, it's interesting that some things that are partisan issues in America are just universally accepted elsewhere,
Yeah. And then I have to get back to Bernie Sanders, because he is, to me, for example, and I have probably said it before, like, he talked about Panama and why should the U.S. have a free trade whatnot agreement with Panama, because Panama has like 0.2% of the whole what you say, GDP of the year. And the only reason that he saw for having a free trade agreement was that it would simplify for the richest 1% to place their money abroad, out of sight of the system.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, sorry, I don't know. We're getting into way philosophical discussion.
Oh well, hey, that's what you asked. What my podcast was about. That's where we are, man. Like,
that's good. That's good. I like that. But I mean, like if I may ask you, is your podcast like? Do people judge you and like? What kind of extremist are you, or?
Oh, I'm not. Well, here's the thing. Indiana is a very conservative state. And I have a lot of ideas that I guess would be considered progressive or liberal. I honestly don't think about them as being any certain label. I just feel like I know what I feel like is true, and I just try to be true to that. And a lot of people where I live consider me liberal. Now, I also lived in California, but I lived in Northern California, which is kind of as we talked about in the first episode of my podcast, is a lot of people around there are a combination of redneck and hippie. My friend Sean calls it a rippy. It's these people from San Francisco that crossbred with these kind of hillbilly people in the mountains, and they had a back to the land movement, and there's these people with marijuana farms, but they have shotguns. So that's kind of the vibe. But anyway, when I worked there, I was probably a centrist, or maybe even slightly libertarian. I don't even know which way you want to go with it, but it's like a conservative where I lived in California is very different than a conservative where I live in Indiana, if that makes sense. You know, even though we're both in America and supposedly there's the same parties and ideologies, I just feel like it's all relative, you know. And I live in I was also born in Indiana, so I'm used to being the outlier of where I am, but that's only because I live in a very conservative state that is very Republican. But I've lived in very, you know, quote unquote liberal places, and I felt like I was like maybe even a little more straight edge than they were, you know. So, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does in a way, because what I'm thinking about right now is still the same divide between are you a Democrat or are you a Republican, but basically what you're saying and what I'm telling you about Sweden, that it is way more complex than that. You cannot put anyone, like some dude in LA might be Republican, but that is a totally, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, European, famous European. His kind of Republican idea is not at all the same that I don't know, Jasper, Tennessee Republican idea might be.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's a reason the governor was the governor of California. You know, I had to type his name for many a news story. You know, I had to learn how to spell the word Schwarzenegger. You know, because he was an elected official where I lived, and you had to appeal to his office and blah blah blah. So.
Again, you had to
I covered local and state politics for the newspaper I worked at in California. I wrote news stories where I often had to type Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that never failed to make me laugh a little bit when I would do that. So.
You could have chosen some autocomplete, like.
Yeah, right, exactly. F3. You know, F3 is Schwarzenegger.
yeah, exactly. but see, that is something that I don't get. I mean, the U.S. is, well, see, the European Union is desperately trying to create some kind of a giant governmental organization thing, and it is succeeding in the way that it is really, really different. Mm-hmm. I mean, take an extreme right-wing party from Poland and put that together with an extreme right-wing party from the United Kingdom, mm-hmm. and they still have large differences. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea of the U.S. being a two-party giant country, 320 million people, mm-hmm. agreeing on one or the other, mm-hmm. that is not
right.
comprehensible, mm-hmm. incomprehensible.
Yeah,
Europeans.
Yeah. For sure. Well, I think one thing you need to understand about America maybe is that I don't know how familiar you are with the Civil War we had in the mid 1800s, but that ended, but it never really did end. And kind of the South won in a lot of ways. I think politically they've won. I mean, if you look at Richard Nixon, when he was being elected president, he pursued what's called a Southern strategy, in which he kind of, either overtly or covertly appealed to racists in the South who were disaffected with the Democratic Party, who had traditionally ruled the South, and he basically was like, hey, if you're not using these racists, we'll take them. So that kind of happened, and basically what's happened is that there has been, that's kind of what I was talking about with states' rights people and federalist people, the states' rights people are kind of the people that kind of wish the South had actually won, and, that slavery was still legal and all that, so there's definitely a divide in America where I don't think that wound ever quite healed, and I think it's only gotten kind of worse over time, and if you know anything about, say, Texas, there's a real spirit of, and there's some people in Texas that say that, oh, we never actually joined the Union and we can leave any time, So
the Lone Star State.
The Lone Star State, you got it.
we can do whatever we want.
Basically.
Let's receive and join Mexico.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah. You know what? Oh yeah, right. You and me are about. No, I'm sorry. I need to finish my smoke because in Sweden you cannot smoke inside.
Oh well, neither in America. It's smoking bans all over the place.
What? That's a federal thing.
No. Cities and yeah, I think municipalities and things do that individually.
Okay. So in some municipalities you can smoke in a bar.
Well, it's like if you go to, there's like a cigar bar in town, but you're going into a cigar bar. If you're like in front of just a random building, you can't be within a certain amount of feet from the entrance, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you have to be cognizant of the fact that you're going into a place that allows smoking. basically.
Okay. So if you choose to passively smoke.
Yeah, like if you go into a cigar bar, get ready for cigar smoke.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
But is it a federal thing that you cannot smoke?
No, there's still places you can smoke. Casinos especially, there's a lot of smoking in.
When you say casinos, I think Nevada.
But there's Native American casinos all over the place.
Yeah, true. I knew that actually thanks to South Park.
Great. I'm so glad that South Park is providing the image around the world for all of it. I love South Park, but it's I hope that's not where all the information comes from.
No, not at all.
Okay, great.
Just another input of interesting points of like problems or.
Sure. No. I love South Park. I think it's great.
Me too. And another thing about that, like where Europeans get news about the US, that is John Oliver's last week tonight.
John Oliver is a brilliant guy. Yeah, he's done a lot of great things. I haven't seen some of the recent stuff he's done, but I've definitely seen a lot of his segments. He gets into it a way that I really admire him for. He really gets into the facts of things. And
Me too. And I think he's got a huge point that he's British. So he sees both like Commonwealth fuck-ups and European politics compared to the US. So I actually think that guy he's got a really good sense of much of world politics, and he kind of exposes fucked up U.S. politic things.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he brings up things I didn't even know about. You know, he kind of just surprises me with
exactly.
his.
Me neither. And he regularly trashes the UK Commonwealth stuff, like what they did to India and whatnot.
Sure.
But he really, to me, he's really a voice of reason in that way.
Definitely.
So, am I on your podcast right now?
For sure.
That sounds good. Do I sound like a reasonable European person? I mean,
absolutely.
Sweden.
No, man. You guys are the third phone call that is actually picked up. I left some random voicemails on people because before they picked up, it was like Sweden is sleeping, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just say what's up to Sweden, and I'll try back. But you're the third phone call I've gotten, and everyone's been perfectly polite and informative, and I've had good conversations. You know, this is the longest conversation I've had since I called, but it's really gone well. I think you guys have done great with whatever it is that you're doing. So.
I think so too. Like, how long have we been talking?
Yeah.
How long have we...
Oh, how long you're asking? I think according to my recorder, it says an hour and a half, but I think I talked to probably people for, I guess, 15 or 20 minutes, I guess, total. So let's just say an hour and 15 total. So
yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
But see, there's a lot of bunker heads. I don't know, heads in Sweden as well. We've got, I mean, if you call a random Swede, you could end up with a nationalist guy.
Yeah. Well,
we don't need foreign elements in Sweden.
Well, you could. Well, I shudder to think what would happen if you did the same thing to America.
But yeah, now you're touching a topic that I'm actually fascinated about in the US, that you don't. Well. Now I'm talking about what I know about New York and Manhattan and Little India and Chinese corner places and stuff. But integration-wise, because we're talking a lot about integration, like how do Sweden foreign cultures fit into Swedish culture? How can we combine different cultures? I think that the US actually, in certain points, is way ahead of Sweden. Like going to an Indian place in Sweden is still like, yeah, you're going to a restaurant that is owned by foreigners that have somehow managed to establish a business in Sweden, and it's kind of stuck up in Sweden, whereas my impression about the US, or maybe now like New York or San Fran or LA, is that it's not big of a deal to go to another culture restaurant in that way.
Yeah, I student taught in England, and I've never eaten so much Indian food than when I was in England. It was just all the time.
Exactly. England is way more open, or I don't know if they're like integrated into the British culture in that way, but it's just not a big deal. Like, let's go eat English, let's go eat Chinese. But in Sweden, or now I'm talking about Stockholm, but it's like, let's go to that place, and people will notice that the restaurant is owned by Chinese or Indians or Thai people or whatnot, and it's accepted, of course, but you still in a way notice that you're going to a place that is not Swedish food or Swedish culture. And the fact that we notice it, I think is not ideal in a way, and not according to the Swedish idea about foreigners, and totally not about the idea that we need to integrate everyone into our culture. And like in the US or in the UK, you appreciate it in a whole other way, that you're going to eat food that is not native.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, people are always like, they'll go to a Chinese restaurant and they'll, just because of customer demand, will put out a frozen pizza on the Chinese restaurant buffet. I think that explains.
Frozen pizza.
Yeah. They'll just throw it on there, and it's like, yeah, okay, fine. You came to a Chinese restaurant. You don't want any Chinese food. Here's a pizza. So
what, you're saying that the Chinese restaurant is actually not Chinese, but it's...
Oh, there's nothing more American than a Chinese restaurant in America. And they have dishes that Chinese people don't even know about.
That is the same here. It's fried... I don't know.
Sure.
We usually, if you order a big main course, you usually get a fried banana and vanilla ice cream free as a dessert. And everyone knows that that's not Chinese.
You don't say. You don't say. Really?
No. Okay. Same in that way. Are we about done?
Well, we can be done if you're done. That's cool, man.
The sauna is hot, and I'm standing outside freezing.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I don't want to freeze you to death. We'll get warm, man. Is there anything you want to say to the people of America before we go? Anything you want to promote or whatever?
I want to say that think outside the two-party system. Listen to your voice of reason, and just because it sounds different doesn't mean that it's a fucking conspiracy. So vote Bernie Sanders, because that guy really knows what he's talking about.
All right, America, you heard it from Sweden. Thanks a lot for speaking with us, man. I hope you have a good day and stay warm, okay?
I will. It's sauna time right now, so...
That sounds all right. Well, hey, look me up, okay? Send me an email or something, all right?
I will.
Cool.
And God bless America.
Are you trying to get elected, sir?
No. Or actually, maybe.
Maybe.
Chance against Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we may need you before this is over. But hey, take it easy in Sweden and tell everyone we said what's up.
I will.
Cool.
Take care.
You too. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Hello. Hi. Is this Sweden?
Hey, Sweden. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Where are you calling from?
Oh, Indiana. I'm recording a podcast right now. Is that okay?
Sure. Why not? So is it in the middle of the night there, or?
Yeah. It's technically 1:25 a.m., but I work second shift, so I kind of work a later schedule. So I'm just kind of getting off work, unwinding. Thought I'd call Sweden.
Cool. Yeah. So Sweden just woke up.
Yeah. No, I'm getting that impression from the people I've talked to. So, my name is Rob. What's your name?
My name is Misha.
Cool. So, where do you live in Sweden?
I live just north of Stockholm, actually, and I work in the middle of Stockholm. So, yeah.
What do you do in the middle of Stockholm?
The barcodes on all the products sold all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I work for the company that sort of owns them, basically.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, you guys are doing quite well because those are everywhere. So.
Exactly. It's kind of a monopoly.
Right, for sure. So, tell me about yourself. What do you like to do for fun?
Well, I'm 36 years old. I got 2 kids. They're just 2 years and 4 years old. And when I am having fun, I'm traveling to the States. And I go to maybe New York and go to Broadway and see some shows. And then I go to Orlando and just go and have fun on roller coasters and stuff. That's what I like to do for fun.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, I'm going to LA in just 2 weeks just to go to Universal Studios and Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Huh. Okay, cool.
That's my idea of fun.
Okay, well, that does sound like fun. Now, I assume you haven't been to Indiana then.
I haven't been to Indiana. I actually did a road trip on Greyhound many years ago, but I never passed by Indiana, actually.
Okay, well that's cool. So yeah, well I'm a journalist. I have one son. He's 1 year old. I have a wife. Let's see. I play guitar.
Cool.
I have a podcast, as I said. So yeah, just what do you want people? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about your podcast. How can I find it? Can I do a Google search? Or
sure, absolutely. I can give you the web address if you're ready.
Yeah, let me get me a pen.
Sure.
And I can write it down. Could be fun listening to.
Yeah. Well, I just saw this number for Sweden. I was like, yep, I got my next episode. I'm just going to call Sweden.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a fun idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. Cool. Well, I hope that you've been speaking to a lot of friendly Swedes.
Everyone's so concerned about that, but you're all so polite. I really don't think you need to be so concerned. You're the fourth person I've talked to. I've talked to a bunch of voicemails in between, but you're the fourth person I've talked to, and you've all been incredibly polite. I even woke somebody up out of a dead sleep, and they just said the worst thing they said was call me after 9:30 or something. So, it was not what I would have said if I was woken up at 6 a.m. I'll tell you that. But yeah, no, it's been cool, man. So, well, what do you want people to know about Sweden in America?
Well, everything that people say is that Sweden is socialist and we pay so much taxes. I know it's not that bad here. We get a lot of stuff for free, and that's really nice. And Sweden it's an easy country. As you said, people are polite. There's lots of stuff to see if you come here, so it's worth visiting, actually, and it's worth giving a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So have you been paying attention to the presidential election in America at all?
Yes. I've been following, not very hard, but I know the difference between the candidates. The Trump and the Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. I know sort of the differences, but
sure.
It would be. In my opinion, is that if Trump wins, I don't know if I'm going to be going to the States so much.
Well, I can't entirely blame you. I might not be going to the States so much myself if you get my drift.
I get your drift. That's good. That's good that you have that opinion.
For sure. Well, just tell people that we're all not all like that, and we're some of us are trying to stop that from happening. So.
Yeah, I will definitely.
For sure. So, what is your plan for today? What's today look like for you?
I'm going to take my kids to a sort of. It's sort of a farm, but it's not farming. But they keep animals, so you can pet animals like a petting zoo, basically, and they can ride horses.
Oh.
So that's my plan. I'm going to see my brother and his kids for the day, and my partner, she's in Barcelona for the weekend, so I have the kids all by myself.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's my plan. What's your plan? After you've been sleeping, obviously.
Well, in about 5.5 hours, my son's going to kick me in the face, and then we're going to get up, and it'll be 7 o'clock in the morning, and the day will just kind of begin from there, and I'll have to go to work. So But how old are your kids?
My son is 2, and he's awake watching Netflix.
Excellent.
And my daughter is 4, and she's sort of waking up. Basically.
Okay, cool. Well, what does the younger one like to watch on Netflix? Masha and the Bear? No.
You know that show?
What is it? Marsha and the Bear?
Masha, and it's like a sort of a cartoon with a bear and Russian. It's a Russian girl, but it's an English show, but it's take place in Russia.
Okay. Cool.
And they like to watch Doc McStuffins.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar.
and Sophia the First, the Disney shows.
Right, absolutely. We're kind of in a Thomas the Tank Engine, Room on the Broom. We got.
That's right.
We tried to watch The Land Before Time, and it was too scary. So.
Oh yeah. That's it. We tried to watch The Good Dinosaur with my daughter. She was like,
"Oh no,
let's get out of here."
Exactly. Yeah, that's like Jurassic Park to them at that point. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool, man. Well, it sounds like you got a lot going on there. I don't want to keep you on forever, but is there anything else you wanted to say to America or whatever?
No, just it's really cool that you guys are taking this opportunity to give us a call.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I'm loving it.
Cool. Have you talked to anybody else from America?
No, actually, you know what? I just signed up like 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes later, I got the call from you.
Well, I hope I didn't scare you off from other Americans calling you. But
no, it was fun. It was really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell everyone in Sweden we said what's up, okay?
I will, and you have a great weekend.
Yeah, same to you.
Indiana.
For sure.
All right, thank you, Rob. All right.
Yeah, later on, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Calling Sweden. You will soon be connected to a random Swede somewhere in Sweden. This call may be recorded.
But Sweden is asleep right now, so you might end up in someone's voicemail.
A lot of people are calling Sweden right now. Soon, a random Swede will be ready to take your call.
A lot of people.
Martina Lundström.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is this Sweden?
Yeah, this is Sweden. Yeah.
Oh.
This is one of the people, the persons who live in Sweden.
You don't speak for the entire country, then?
Well, no, not really.
Okay,
Not
fair
for the
enough.
entire country.
Fair
but
enough.
I can speak for myself, and what are you interested in? What do you want to know?
Well, first of all, I'm recording a podcast. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. My name is Rob. What's your name?
Martina.
Okay, cool.
Martina Lundström. Yes.
Awesome. So where in Sweden are you located?
I'm located in Linköping, which is about 2 hours south of Stockholm.
Okay, cool. I'm in Indiana. I don't know if you know where that is. It's near Chicago, sort of.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, this.
So, what's Sweden like?
Sweden? Yeah, what's it like in Sweden?
Since you speak for all of Sweden, please tell us. Since I speak for all of America, let America ask you what Sweden is like.
Well, Sweden. Yeah, it's a very nice country. It's not so big. Well, the area is larger than the population. We're about 10 million people living here. People from all over the world living in Sweden. And Stockholm is the biggest city, 1 million inhabitants, and where I live, we're about 150,000. And we work in all sorts of industries. Me, myself, I'm a teacher. Yeah. What else do you want to know?
Oh, are you from Sweden?
Yeah, I'm Swedish.
Okay, cool.
I was born here. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm asking because you speak such good English. I'm almost surprised that you're not a native speaker. I guess when did you learn to speak English?
So much.
Are you a native speaker? I want to assume.
No, I'm not native speaking Swedish, but I think many Swedes, because we're such a small country, so everyone is more or less. We have 2 languages, and we learn English in school. And when you look at the young ones today, they will be even more fluent than I am.
Well, that's good news.
Because they're more or less, they have it every day from when they're very young. I started it later because I'm 43 years. So,
okay.
Yeah, and if you look at my parents, they will speak English, but not as good as I do because they haven't been to school as much as I have.
Well, that's amazing. I can't believe, I student taught in England. I was actually an elementary education major. I'm a journalist now, but I have an expired teaching license. But I student taught in England during my senior year at college, and I actually took a EU rail, trip around Europe, and I was amazed at how many people in every country I went to spoke English just perfectly, and I just was, I couldn't reciprocate in any way. I had 3 years of high school Spanish, but I couldn't, I wouldn't bet anything on that,
Yeah, well, that's because you have your English and you don't know how to learn another language.
Right.
It's different for us because Swedish is it's such a small country.
Yeah, but that's true. But you guys, you know 2 languages. That's got to be amazing. I mean, to me, it's amazing. Maybe it's to you, it's commonplace, but
most people in the world speak more than one language.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, sadly, that's not true for America.
And some will speak 3 or 4 languages.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I learned French in school, but I can't speak French today because I never use it.
Okay.
I did 6 years of French, but I could listen and understand a bit, but I wouldn't be able to speak much.
Yeah, well, if you're immersed in something, you kind of have to speak it. I was in Spain for, a week or so, and, I probably used more Spanish then than I've, obviously ever used otherwise in my life, so it was just because I had to, so.
Probably, yes.
Sure, but...
So you're doing a podcast now?
Yes.
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Right now.
Yeah?
Yep.
So where can I listen to the podcast? Where can I find you?
I can give you the web address if you are ready.
I'll try to find it.
Yeah. Send me an email or something.
Yeah? So you're the first one in Sweden you rang to. You haven't tried.
Huh?
It's the first time you dialed this number.
Oh, no. You're like the 5th or 6th person I've talked to.
Okay, yeah. Wow, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard about it yesterday, and I thought, that sounds nice. I want to learn more about this. So I registered just this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, the last person I spoke with had actually just signed up for it 5 minutes before I called.
Yeah, I wonder if more people will ring, though.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to call tonight, because I was like, they're probably going to shut this down. I don't know how long this is going to last, so I better call.
Discussing it we discussed this on Twitter yesterday, and some people told me off, like, don't do that. They will harass you. They will, give sex, talk about sex to you. And
before I called, I was like, my wife's name is Ash. I was like, Ash, I have to call right now, because if I don't call right now, they're going to shut this down because people are terrible. They're going to ruin this for me. I have to call. If I'm going to talk to the Swedish people, I have to talk to the Swedish people now. I can't wait. If I wait, the terrible people will call, and they'll do whatever they're going to do. So.
Yeah, it was so funny. funny.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, we'll see. But I think it's quite a good idea.
Oh, it's fun. I wish more countries would do this. I just like the tagline. It was like the first country in the world with its own phone number. I was like, okay, well, I know what the next episode of my podcast is about, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be good. So, will you call some other now?
Sure. Yeah, I can call some others. What's your day like? What are you doing today?
Today I'll be. I have 4 kids and
oh my
a
gosh.
messy house, and we need to tidy up today. So me and my husband we'll look after the house in the morning, and then I will go and buy some food and drinks for tonight.
Okay.
Because we're having a party, me and some girls that
Oh, nice.
Tonight, yeah, and
cool.
That'll be cool. I expect we'll have a good night together and start with a great dinner and then end off in my garden in the hot tub.
Yikes, can I come?
Yeah, sure you will.
Wow, I'd much rather do that than go to work.
So you go to work today?
Yes, I have a strange schedule. I work Wednesday through Sunday, and I'm the night editor at the newspaper I work, so I work from 2 to 10 p.m., and then I have an hour commute each way. So, so I kind of crazy schedule that not a lot of Americans have, so you shouldn't base American, whatever on me.
Okay. I wish you a great day.
Okay. Well, you too. Yeah. Good luck with your 4 kids, and tell Sweden I said hello, and greetings from America.
Yeah, I'll say good morning to my husband. He just woke up here.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Good morning, husband. So thanks so much for talking to me.
Morning. Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool. Have a great
day.
You too.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Calling Sweden. You will soon be connected to a random Swede somewhere in Sweden. This call may be recorded.
But Sweden is asleep right now, so you might end up in someone's voicemail.
How long is Sweden going to be asleep? Wake up. It's the morning. Sweden.
Lindqvist?
Hello? Hi, is this Sweden?
Yes. Good morning. Hi, this is Sweden.
Hi. I'm recording a podcast. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. My name is Rob. What is your name?
My name is Jessica.
Oh, okay, cool. How are you doing today, Jessica?
I'm very good. I just woke up and not really early, but rather early for a Saturday. But my favorite radio program is is casting very early Saturday morning, so I have to wake up.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, when I called, it said Sweden is sleeping, and I might get a voicemail. So So I'm sorry if I'm getting you first thing here, but it's still Friday night technically, unless you want to count midnight as the beginning of the new day. But
yeah.
So
it's like that on a global world. Where are you calling from?
Indiana. It's I don't know if you know where that is, but it's near Chicago, sort of.
Okay, so in the middle of...
Yeah, roughly in the middle, sure. Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this idea to call Sweden?
Well, I saw an article online, and it had the thing about the phone number, and the name of the article I read was, "I spent my morning calling random Swedes, and they loved it." So I have a podcast. I've done 5, so far, and I was like, I know what episode 6 is now, so here we are.
Cool. Yeah, so. Nice. Yeah, you really called a random Swede.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
A success. But,
I got approved like half an hour ago.
You got what?
Approved.
Approved for the to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, because I talked to somebody a couple calls ago that he signed up 5 minutes before I called him. So literally seconds after signing up, I was in his ear. So.
It seems to be people from America and Turkey calling.
Oh, really? So I hadn't heard what other countries. So have you talked to somebody from Turkey already?
No, I just read an article also about it, and they said they had a lot of calls from Turkey and also America. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great idea.
This is such a brilliant idea.
Oh, I love it. It's great. I I didn't think of it before I saw that, but I was like, sure, I'd love to talk to a random Swede. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
So, well, tell me about yourself. What do you do for work, and what do you do for fun, I guess?
I work with the propulsion, with the propellers and water jet systems on rather big vessels. We don't, it's not for going fishing. It's like huge container ships and naval ships and stuff like that. And I'm in charge of the startup, of the commissioning of these systems.
Wow.
So I love my work. I love boats as well and the marine life, and I feel like I'm a part of it.
Well, that's excellent.
I really love it.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I spend my time also going sailing and kayaking. I just love boats.
Yeah, for sure. I used to live in California, and one of the things I loved to do most when I lived there was go to the beach. I love the ocean for sure. I've never been very adept at sailing, I have to say. I feel like I've never been very good at that. The times I've tried.
But the Pacific Ocean there in California, it's a rather heavy ocean to sail, isn't it?
I've never sailed. I'm sorry, I've never sailed the Pacific Ocean. I should say I've sailed random lakes in the Midwest, kind of where I'm from in Indiana. I've never actually sailed on the ocean. No, I had a poor enough experience on the land bodies of water that I didn't really want to see what was happening with that. So, yeah.
I follow a lot of sailing blogs and. And it was just the other week a tragical accident on the Pacific between Japan and Seattle. Of course, that was a really extreme sailing competition. But a 40-year-old woman, she just got swept away from the cockpit and she just died.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So the Pacific Ocean is not for beginners, so to say. So I can imagine that.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing with Sweden is that here is everything, so you just go and do it. It's really not so complicated, and it's not, you're not threatening your life. I live 60 meters. It's I don't know. I live very close to the Vänern Lake, which is the biggest lake of Europe. At least Northern Europe, and I just go out there and go sailing. It's so easy.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so cool that you're able to do that, and you work in a profession that you obviously love. So that's it's like the old quote: if you find something you love, you'll never work another day in your life, or whatever. So
that's true.
Yeah. But, well, cool. I'm glad you work in something you love. I also, I'm a journalist. I love what I do. I've, pretty much always known I wanted to do that. I, found a paper from when I was in, 5th grade that was about, I want to become a journalist. So I've been on, I've been on that path for a while, although I did have a degree in elementary education, and I did student teaching. Elementary education. Teaching. Yeah, and I did my student teaching in England for 3 months at my last, semester of college.
Yeah.
So.
And that was it.
yeah, that was enough for me. For sure.
I've been there too. I also did teaching and thought of a future as a teacher, and I'm really happy I didn't go in for that.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, children and young people are okay, but no.
Yeah, the classroom management is what I had the hardest time with personally, because I, previous to that, had been a camp counselor at a summer camp, and I liked that a lot. That was fun, but I only had 8 kids at a time.
Yeah.
And then you're in a classroom of 35, prepubescent. You can go from there. You know what I mean? It's rough. So,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of got burned on that.
I'm really glad that other people are more committed to.
Oh my gosh, I have all the respect in the world for the people that do that. Absolutely. So.
Me too.
Definitely.
Me too.
But yeah, I'm just not. I couldn't do it. So. But yeah, I really like what I'm doing now, and like I said, I'm doing this podcast now, and that's kind of what I'm doing on my free time. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who are listening to your podcast?
Everybody. It's so popular.
Oh, cool.
I'm not being sarcastic
Congrats.
at all. No, it's actually doing pretty well. I'm on iTunes. I've got a 5-star rating so far, so that's good. Got a website. Been talking to people. Been talking to a lot of Swedes tonight. So.
Yeah, lovely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's also a really good way to spend a Friday night.
I love it. It's great. I've never hung out with the Swedes on a Friday night, but you guys are all right. So.
It's a pity it's Saturday morning for us, though.
I know, right? It's like I'm having a party on Friday night, and you guys are just waking up. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Cool.
They just said on this radio show that I'm waking up to listen to that white whale. I didn't really know what kind of whale, but a totally white whale is swimming up the Swedish coast.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe I should take some days off and go there.
If you ever go to Northern California, there's a lighthouse, and it's called a place called Fort Bragg. But they have whale watching there, and it's amazing. You don't even need binoculars or anything. You just look out, and they go right by the edge of the peninsula there. It's spectacular.
But I was in Vancouver and went on a whale safari. It must have been like the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Or is it? Oh wait, but there's Vancouver, Canada, and then Seattle, and then California.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's Oregon in between there, but
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's northern. It's about 2 hours north of San Francisco. But yeah, no, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. They're definitely there.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I don't remember what kind of whales they are. I'm sure I could look it up, but yeah, you could see them with your naked eye. It was amazing, just off the coast.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nature is really stunning.
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
But in the lake, I can see from my window, there are no whales.
No, me neither. No waves here either.
No.
Not so much.
They don't like fresh water.
Yeah. I mean, there's there's some ponds nearby, but they're sort of man-made. So, but anyhow, well, cool. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but is there anything else you wanted to say to, America?
To America?
Sure.
Hello, America. Thanks for calling Sweden.
That's good. Well, tell Sweden, America says hello.
Hello, and good luck with your elections.
Thank you. We need all the luck we can get. Yeah,
we are shivering.
Yeah, we are too. But some of us are, trying to do what we can to to stop it. But it's it's an uphill battle in some ways. But yeah, we're scared too.
Yeah, please do your best.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
For sure. Well,
well, good night then.
Yeah.
Also.
Good morning. Also.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Well, take it easy. Yeah. Have fun on the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Great.
Good luck with your pod.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thanning you. Have a good night. Or morning.
You too.
Rather.
Bye.
Bye.
Calling Sweden. You will soon be connected to a random Swede somewhere in Sweden.
Well,
this call may be recorded.
But Sweden is asleep right now, so you might end up in someone's voicemail.
Heard that one before. Sweden better be awake right now.
A lot of people are calling Sweden right now. Soon, a random Swede will be ready to take your call.
Hi, this is Robert in Sweden.
Oh, hello. Hey, hi, Rob. This is Rob as well, in America.
Cool.
I'm recording a podcast. Is that okay?
Absolutely. No
oh, okay. Awesome. So where are you in Sweden?
I'm in Stockholm right now.
Oh, awesome. How's your morning going so far? Have you just woken up?
I woke up a while ago, but I'm still in bed.
Okay.
Taking it pretty chill.
Understand. Yeah, so what do you want to tell people about yourself?
Well, about myself?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want to know?
Well, whatever you want people to know. What do you do for fun? What do you do for work?
For fun? I usually go for training for fun. That's my kind of fun. And I play the guitar.
Oh, me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of guitar do you play? The acoustic or electric?
I have an electric. I don't play it so much lately. I have an Ovation acoustic. I also have an acoustic bass. So I try to play that. I haven't played it much lately. I have a 1-year-old. So it's kind of cut into my practice time. But yeah, I play guitar. I have since I was 12. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And how old are you now, may I ask?
I am 30, well, I'm going to be, my birthday's the 29th, so I guess I'll be 33. What's that?
So you have been playing for quite some time then?
Yeah, I guess 21 years. I guess I would have been playing. Yeah.
Right. I've only been playing for a few years.
Oh, okay. Well, you have every chance of being better than me because I've not, I've reached a certain plateau or whatever. So. But, yeah. So, that's cool, man. So what kind of guitar do you play? What kind of music?
I play, I don't know if I play any particular kind of music like that. Whatever comes to mind. Many different genres.
Cool.
And you?
Oh, I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I learned how to play guitar at a, summer camp. So, of course I played, all those songs, but I also had a garage band when I was in high school. And that was more, heavy metal and, rock and roll and stuff. And, I also like, a lot of different kinds of music. So, it's kind of gone from there. But yeah, I don't really just do one kind for sure. So.
Okay, cool. May I ask you, where are you from?
Indiana. It's near Chicago, sort of, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I know Chicago.
Okay.
That's where the mafia was, right?
Where the mafia was?
Yeah?
Yeah, there was mafia there for sure.
There's mafia there for sure.
Yeah. Mafia was, a lot of places. But yeah, definitely in Chicago. Al Capone, I'm sure you're probably thinking of. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of.
There was also a famous bank robber from near where I was called John Dillinger.
Okay, yeah, I know John Dillinger.
Okay. One of my old coworkers. What's that?
Public Enemies.
Yep.
In Public Enemies.
Yeah.
Is that about him?
I believe he's in. I haven't seen that, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's him. I'm a journalist. I work at a newspaper, and one of my former coworkers actually works for a city nearby where I live, and John Dillinger back in the 30s. Actually stole a Tommy gun from the police department there. He was arrested in another state in America, and they've had the Tommy gun that he stole for, however many years, and they're trying to get it back now, but it's worth like $1 million, so wow, they're kind of dragging their feet about it, so it's pretty wild. So, yes, to answer your question, go back to what you said, yes, where the mafia is.
That's where the mafia is. That's cool.
Sure.
So, you said you were a journalist?
Yeah, I write for a newspaper.
Okay, so is that what the podcast is for?
No, I do the podcast on my own. It's separate from what I do for work. So, but I write a weekly column, and I'm on the editorial board, and yeah, so I write for a newspaper as well.
Is it a big newspaper?
Yeah, it's one of the bigger ones in Indiana for sure.
Okay, cool. Was it always your dream to become a journalist?
I think so. My mom was also a journalist, and her father before her, and actually his father before him. I'm the fourth generation in my family, so I spent a lot of time in newsrooms as a kid. So I probably picked it up that way. But yeah, as long as I can remember, that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I did go to school for elementary education, though I have a teacher's license that's expired. But that definitely wasn't my ultimate dream by any measure. So.
Okay. What's your connection with Sweden, by the way? Why
nothing.
Why did I call?
Why are you calling us?
How did you hear about us?
I saw an article online. It's a website called Vocativ. And the headline of the article is, "I spent my morning calling random Swedes," and in parentheses it says, "and they loved it." So it had the phone number in the article. So I have a podcast. I've done 5 episodes so far. This is episode 6 now. So.
Where do you publish them, on YouTube or something?
I'm gonna publish them on YouTube. Actually, I'm on iTunes right now.
Okay.
You can find it on there, or Stitcher, or SoundCloud. I'm also on SoundCloud. So.
What do I search for?
The Rob Burgess Show. It's ROBBURGESSSHOW.
Did you say BUR?
Yep, BUR.
And then?
GESS. SHOW.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can find the website, therobburgesshow.com as well. But that's where I am on SoundCloud and Twitter and all that stuff. So.
Okay, cool. How long have you been doing that stuff for?
I've been thinking about doing it since like the beginning of the year. I mean, I've been thinking about doing it longer, but I really started to do stuff around the beginning of the year, and I've just been trying to, get some episodes, banked, so I'm not under the gun. So I'm trying to record a few ahead of time. So even though I'm on my 5th, podcast just dropped today, I have been kind of doing it for a couple months now. I do it a couple weeks behind when I publish it, but
okay.
But yeah, this will be the 6th episode, and so
cool. What do other Swedes say to you? I mean, I just registered. I saw this morning, so I just registered like 1 hour ago.
I talked to a guy a couple times ago who registered 5 minutes before I called him. So,
okay, cool.
Everyone's been really cool. I've been talking to, you're probably maybe the 6th or 7th person I've talked to. I've kind of lost count. I've been talking to people for 2.5 hours now, but it's been cool. I've enjoyed it. Been talking about the election. I've been talking about, people's lives, what you guys do for fun, and, what the differences are and what similarities and everything. So,
you mean the American election? Or?
Yeah, the presidential election for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot to say about Trump, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what do you say about Trump in Sweden?
In Sweden, haven't you heard already?
That's a reporter question. We know the answer, but we have to ask it so you can say something.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think I have enough information to say anything.
Sure.
Really.
Well, it's scary no matter how much you know. I mean, Trump, and, I don't think anyone here, for the most part, thought that it would get this far. And kind of everyone, including me, I guess, underestimated how far this would go. So it's really scary. And, I've done a lot of, I've been trying to sound the alarm about Trump as much as I can. I write a weekly column. I wrote several columns about, Trump. So, we talk about him on my podcast a fair amount. So,
what are the things that concern you the most about Trump?
Where do I begin? Let's see. I don't think he believes anything he says. I think he just will say anything. So I don't think he has any core values per se. I think he's incredibly small-minded, xenophobic, anti-immigrant. He can't stand anybody that's different or not white and straight and male.
What does xenophobic mean? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Xenophobic means you don't really care about anyone except for the people that are your fellow countrymen. Okay. You don't like foreigners or anyone that's anti what you consider your country.
Okay.
It's very nationalistic, if you could say anything about it. I don't feel good about that. Lots of things concern me about him. Well, what do you think? I mean,
what I think about Trump?
Sure.
I don't know what to think really, but it seems like he's I don't know. The feeling I get is not so good. That's
yeah,
what
me too.
I mean, I don't feel like I can trust him.
No.
in general. But then, I mean about politics and stuff like that, I don't know much about that.
Well, let me let you in on a secret. He doesn't know much about it either, and that's what's scary. He just says anything. You know, he doesn't know anything about anything, and he'll just change positions on a dime. And he has no core beliefs, like I said. So, yeah, you don't feel bad for not knowing anything about his politics, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't either. So.
Okay. No, I mean, but one thing I observe is that, yeah, he might not be in there for the right thing, if I can say so. I mean,
sure.
He's in it for the publicity sometimes, I think, or something. I don't know, money or. I don't get the feeling that he really wants to change the country for the better.
Yeah, same here, for sure. You know, he identifies some problems with it, but at the same time, I think he's kind of fine with how it is, you know, like he talks about how campaign finance is corrupt, but I think he only talks about that because he can buy the politicians he wants to buy, and he's okay with that. So. Okay. Yeah.
But there are many people who still support him, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. In Indiana, he's probably, I would be surprised if he didn't win Indiana. He'll probably win the state I live in. I would be very surprised if he didn't.
And what are their arguments? I mean, how is it that they cannot see what...
I think it's mostly people that are, like, feeling the system as it is isn't working for them, and I think it's kind of somewhat the same thing that's driving the Bernie Sanders campaign, is that it's people that feel like the system has left them behind. Now, the difference is, of course, who they blame for that. People that support Trump blame people that are immigrants, people that don't look like them, foreigners. I'm sure people from Sweden. You know what I mean? People that are outside, you know, they consider a them, you know, not of them.
There are quite some people from Sweden in Chicago, aren't there?
Some people in Sweden, what?
There are some Swedish immigrants in Chicago, or...
I'm sure there are, yeah, absolutely. Definitely. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Swedes may not be first on his mind, but he doesn't appreciate immigrants or people that are not from America at all. So that's very worrying. You know, but they blame people like that for their problems, whereas people that, you know, are in support of Bernie Sanders say that, you know, it's the big banks, the oligarchs, the people that are at the top hoarding all the wealth, you know, and that's the people that you should be upset about. So I feel like, you know, whichever side you come down on, it's you know, it's basically based on who you blame for that. So. Okay. And,
but
you know,
do you support Bernie Sanders right now?
You know, I've been asked that by a couple Swedes, and the way I've answered it is I don't really know who else to support, because everyone else just doesn't seem like a viable option. You know, Hillary Clinton is less bad, and if Bernie were not to get it, I would hope that she would be the president, only because I can't fathom any other, you know, any other alternative based on the selection I've been given. But, you know, it's like, who else am I supposed to support, you know? So if you care about things I care about at all, you have to. But, you know, that's just the way our system goes. You know, I talked about this with some other Swedish people. It's like, we have a two-party system. You guys have way more. So maybe that's part of the problem, you know?
Yeah, we have many parties right now.
For sure, but but I'm sure you've also got. I mean, we've seen Trump, but you've got a, you know, right wing, you know, kind of nationalist, you know,
the Swedish Democrats, they call themselves.
Is that the far? Okay.
They are against the foreigners.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure, I mean, every country's got these kind of people, but, you know, it's consolidated, and the Republicans are just letting it happen, you know, and that's the frustrating thing. They're really going to let this guy maybe become president, and that's, you know, it's very scary to me. Other people think it's great, but...
But are you a foreigner yourself?
No, I've lived in England for a short time, but no, I'm not from. I'm from America. I'm American. So
You're from America.
Yep.
Okay.
I definitely feel like a foreigner in my own land sometimes, if that helps.
But still, you're not a Native American, right?
No, but my wife is part Native American.
Ah, she is?
Yes.
But, I mean, that kind of... When Trump says that, I mean, everyone who is not American should walk out the country. I mean, he's not Native American either, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, his family's from Germany. If they hadn't, if he'd had the same policies as he wants for other people, he wouldn't be here, so... That's pretty crazy to think about, that people that are sons and grandsons of immigrants are so virulently anti-immigrant that they can't see the irony, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's crazy, I think. But what do people think about Obama now that he has done his time?
Done his time almost sounds like a jail sentence.
Yeah, it did.
Well, it's been hard.
It cannot be that fun.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, I was going to say it's been hard because the Republicans have blocked him at every turn. He's never had a chance to do much of anything, for the most part. We have the Supreme Court and we have a justice to fill, and they won't even hear one of the justices he wants to propose. So no matter who it is, they just hate anything he does. And, I think history is probably going to prove that he was trying to do the best he could, but it's hard to judge when, the other side's not willing to offer anything except they just fold their arms and say no to everything. So,
okay.
I mean, it's hard right now, but I do think, eventually we'll see that some of the policies he tried to enact were, on the right path. But, it's hard to work with somebody that just won't work with you,
Yeah, always. It always is. But he seems like, for me, he strikes me like a trustworthy guy somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I think he really thinks about things before he does them or says them, unlike Trump, of course. I mean, Trump's just making things up as he goes along, basically, so...
kind of. I get that feeling, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, Obama really, and it's to his detriment sometimes. I wish he would fly off the handle sometimes more when it's called for, but, yeah, he definitely considers things in a very, mannered way before he responds, and, he doesn't lash out, out of, any emotion.
It's usually better.
Yeah.
When you're in politics.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How many people will you call before you stop?
I don't know, man. I've called so many people, I don't know when to stop. Do you think I should stop, or should I call more people? I'll take your advice.
I don't know. It sounds like fun. I think I actually tried to call it myself, but I realized that only outside of Sweden.
Would this be like your opportunity to talk to other Swedes?
Exactly. This is my only opportunity. Well, the thing is, I've been sick now for such a long time, like in infections.
Oh no!
Over again.
I'm sorry.
So I feel like I just now it's okay. It's getting better now. But
okay.
I feel bored, so
sure.
I think that's why I joined this. Get some fresh opinion.
They should have more of these things. Yeah, they should do one of these things, and then maybe you'll just randomly talk to somebody you wanted to talk to anyway, and it'll work out. But
exactly. But it didn't work out for me to call it myself. But at least I can sign up.
Cool.
So others can call me. And
sure.
It seems like a lot of people actually they are calling from USA.
Yeah.
And then there's some from Australia, I think, as well. Some statistics, but I don't really remember.
Cool.
Actually. But I think the USA was in top right now.
Okay. Well,
over 12,000 calls already.
Wow.
So that's a lot in Sweden, at least. I know it's not so much because we're so few.
Oh, no, that's a lot for sure. Well, it was the #1 story on Facebook when I signed on, and I was like, I have to do this. They're going to shut this down soon.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
For sure.
Fun. Yeah, I think they will shut it down later this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fun idea.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, is there anything else you want to say to America?
Vote for Bernie Sanders. He seems like the better option right now.
All you Swedes say the same thing.
Yeah, we do that, right? Maybe we're just brainwashed as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're all under the socialist, what have you.
I mean, it's really hard to really know, right? Because all we get is information from the media, and how can we be sure that we can trust them?
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, I'm doing what I can to tell the people the truth about Sweden on this podcast. So send me an email or something, okay?
Absolutely. Good luck with everything.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good rest of your day. Hope you feel better.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
See you. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hallå?
Hi, is this Sweden?
Hej, ja, jag är en italienare men bodde i Sweden.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you in Italy or, I'm sorry, Sweden?
Yes, not speak English.
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't speak English. Oh, okay.
No, jag är from Italia.
Oh, you're from Italy. Okay.
But live in Sweden.
Oh, but you live in Sweden. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Indiana in America.
Ah, okay. Fantastic Swedish number.
Yes, I called the Swedish number and I got somebody from Italy. Awesome.
Fantastisk idea.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm recording a podcast right now. Can you say something to the people of America? You can say it in Italian if you want. Just whatever you want to say. I'm sure some people speak Italian.
Yeah, one moment, please. One moment.
Okay.
One moment. Jenny? My wife speaks English.
Oh, okay. Far out.
One moment. Indiano che abita in America, il resto pezzo di Swedish Number.
Hello?
Oh, hi. I was talking to your husband, and I'm in America, so he said you spoke English.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was just telling him that I'm recording a podcast right now, and I was just making sure that's okay.
All right. Okay. Do you know what? We actually learned about the Swedish Number listening to Italian radio yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And I called the Swedish woman, and she just laughed because she did. I mean, probably it was her first call, and it was actually the radio. And so for us, this is our first call as well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
We just exceeded to the app. But we think it's fantastic that you can actually call a Swede. Sweden has a number. We're very proud, actually.
You should be. I think every country should do this.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. So I'm happy to talk to you.
Oh, you too.
First caller. Yeah. So what's your podcast about?
Just, I'm a journalist. I interview people that I know, people that I don't know. I've done a couple of these so far, and then I saw that, you could call a random Swede, and I was like, I'm on board. Next episode.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Well. So how is it calling a Swede?
Oh, it's great. They're all very polite. I've had some great conversations. Everybody seems very scared of Donald Trump. But then again, some of us in America are very scared of Donald Trump. So it's it's all whatever.
Yeah, I can imagine. Where are you in America?
I am in Indiana, which I don't know if you know where that is, but it's near Chicago, kind of.
Yeah, Chicago. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, it's fantastic. But I think my husband didn't understand you well. He's Italian, and he said that you were Indian living in.
We have Native Americans in Indiana, but not many Indians. We have some, but not quite so many.
No. Okay. Well, I think he might have understood that you were from India.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So are you Swedish?
I'm Swedish.
Okay. Yeah. And your husband is Italian. How did you guys meet?
He's Italian, yeah. We met in Corsica.
Ah, okay.
Do you know what Corsica is?
Yes.
Yes?
Don't quiz me on any details, but I definitely know all about it.
French island in the Mediterranean.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay. So you met on Corsica. What were you guys doing on Corsica?
On Corsica. Oh, we were doing some photo shooting.
Really?
I was producing, and I was a client, and love was in the air.
Oh, wow. That's a great story. Very cool.
Yeah, that's a great story. Yeah, it's a great story because I arrived with a helicopter, and the first person that I saw opening the door of the helicopter was my husband.
Nice.
So it was like a movie.
Yeah, I can picture it in my head. That's amazing.
Yeah. I actually tell everybody they hit my head. What is it called? The thing on the helicopter. I can't remember the name.
The propeller?
Makes the propeller. Exactly.
Yeah.
I always said I hit the propeller, and that's why I saw stars.
Awesome! Wow, that's very cool. Now, were you a model at the time?
No. I was just a client. I was modeling, but they thought I was because I was the only woman on the set. They thought they thought it was actually a porn. They got it all wrong. So for 5 minutes in my life, I was a famous porn star.
Wow. Well, I guess that's probably the right amount of time to be that.
Exactly. Wow. That has nothing to do with it. So I was just
sure.
I was a client.
So what were you getting your photo taken for?
It was actually for some. It was packaging photos, so it was quite boring if you think about the porn movie. It was not really exciting. So.
Oh.
But it was fun, and I met my husband. So.
Cool.
And we live in Sweden, so an Italian man chose Sweden to live in.
Wow. Well, Sweden must be pretty great.
Yeah, it's nice. So he's a very good cook. We actually work with Italian food.
Okay. Well, my wife is part Italian American, and I definitely cherish her cooking abilities above mine for sure. So.
All right. Okay. So which part of Italy is she from?
Don't make me quote it on the podcast because I'm going to get in trouble for saying it wrong.
You have to cut.
Cut. We're going to edit right here. Okay, great. And we're back. All right, so we said the correct answer, and all I know is Italian. I'm sorry, but yeah, she's a really great cook, and we have a 1-year-old. Yeah, so that's pretty much our lives right now. So.
All right, yeah, we know about that phase of the life.
Right. For sure.
Busy at home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. So, what's your impression? You said people are friendly and open and talking to a Swede. Is it as you imagined, or?
Well, to be honest, I hadn't really pictured talking to a Swede before I saw the thing about calling the Swedish number. So I came into it, very open, and I had no expectations. I didn't really, I knew about IKEA and the meatballs, and I knew about, ABBA. Is that ABBA? No, ABBA's from a different country. Yeah, okay, ABBA. I know about Max Martin. I know about Max Martin and Dennis Pop, and I know.
exports.
Yeah, I know all the big exports for sure.
Yeah, the big exports. Yeah, okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. I have to leave you.
That's
sorry.
okay.
It was very nice talking to you.
It was very nice talking to you too. Thank you for sharing the story of how you and your husband met. That was cool.
What time is it in Indiana?
In Indiana, it is 2:33 a.m. So it's getting kind of late. But can you say anything to America? You're probably the last person I'm going to talk to because I'm losing power here.
Okay. All right.
But is there anything you want to say to America before we go from Sweden and Italy?
What I would like to say to America is that we wish that America could be a bit more, what's it called? I'm thinking in Italian now, it's my problem. Where male and female have the same rights, the same opportunities. As we work very hard for in Sweden. So maybe it's time for a female president to make a statement.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. We can dig it.
That's a Swedish vision.
All right.
to set a statement.
Well, yeah, it's been crazy that it hasn't happened yet, but I'm with you.
I think it's crazy. In the country of opportunities, why hasn't there ever been a female president?
Yeah, well, it could very well...
It might be, but I think it's time for a female president.
Yeah, it could very well happen this time, for sure, so...
Yeah, it could happen, yeah.
For sure.
And I hope it happens soon, just to test. Why not?
Yeah, give it a shot. Why not? Couldn't be any worse than some of the men we've had, so...
Yeah, exactly. Could it be worse?
Yeah, we've already seen pretty bad from them, so...
From some others. Yeah,
for sure. Well, tell your husband I said hello, in Italian, of course, but hello to Sweden, and America says what's up, so thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks for talking to you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.